All right,
Why
I'll have to
there?
check it out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this says a lot. At here, Vail Resorts had less skier days this year, many less, but higher profits.
Hmm.
So that'll
Wow, that's
tell you,
crazy.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
I
Tess, do you
mean,
want me to go ahead and get us started with the Doug interest slides while you're
yeah,
sending
let's
out
get
that email?
yeah, let's get started. I just sent another blast so everyone has it, and we can get started.
Well, hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Madison Zulowitz. I am the event coordinator here at Doug, so I help plan our local meetup groups like this one, as well as our regional events. And I'm here just to tell you a little bit about Doug. If you are here for the New York City Copilot for Dummies meetup, you are in the right place. I'm just going to give a quick introduction about Doug, who we are, and what all we offer. So, Doug is a free community for users, implementers, and resellers of Microsoft business applications. Our mission is to support Microsoft Dynamics 365, GP, and Power Platform community. We want to be able to help you excel and grow in your personal and professional careers. Local meetups like this one are a really great way to get involved in your local community and learn more about whatever you would like to learn more about. It's also a great way to network with people local to you. Our rules of engagement, essentially we ask that these meetups are held to be solely educational. So please no sales pitches. We want everybody to be able to come to these meetups and gain some educational content, network with their peers, but not be sold a product. Dynamics User Group, or Doug for short, we offer multiple different programs. We have online discussion forums where you can go onto our website, ask the community a question, and they can help answer. We offer free virtual webinars. We have local meetups like this one that are in person and virtual. For those that are virtual, we usually post them on our YouTube channel, which are all free to attend and to go back and watch on our YouTube channel. So lots of great educational content there. If you're ever curious about what another meetup group all around the world are talking about, it's a great place to check out. I'm sure that you can find any topic that you were interested in on our YouTube channel. Or if you were not able to make one of these New York City groups, they'll be posted on our YouTube. We have a skill up program where you can take some classes, a team up program where you can join and you can get some discounts on some of our sponsorships and be kind of the first ones to know. And we also have our Dynamics Con conference. So I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about our Dynamics Con conference shortly. We have regional events. So these are our 2025 Dynamics Con regionals. These are a little bit larger in scope than our local meetups, but they are in person. They are typically a full day to a day and a half of educational content and networking. We typically go to a location. We will have breakfast, we'll have lunch, we'll have a social hour. So really great way to network. And we have lots of different breakout rooms with all different types of educational content. So anything that you're interested in. These are also leader-led. So really, really great to hear what's going on in the community, get some updates. And if you're able to join, they're free. So would highly suggest these are the North America ones that are happening this year. We're going to Canada, Denver. Jan, I don't know how far Denver is from you, but we're going to Colorado, Ohio, Texas, and we're going to Tampa in 2026. We're also going international, which is super exciting for Doug. This will be our first time going international this year. We are going to West Africa and East Africa, in Ghana and Kenya, and we're going to Copenhagen, Denmark in September. Now, I know that we were kind of talking about this a little bit at the beginning of the call, but Dynamics Con is coming up next week. It is very, very soon and kind of snuck up out of nowhere. But if you were able to attend, we would love to see you there. It's a really, really great way to get involved in the community. It is a 3-day event. We're going to have networking and socials. We have tons and tons of educational content. I believe we have like 300 sessions or maybe even 350 sessions. So lots and lots of educational sessions and networking. If you're able to join, we would love to see you there. And you can get a 15% off discount code at checkout by using that Meetup15 code if you are interested. And if you have any questions, I will send something in the chat, but please feel free to Teams me, email me, and I'd be happy to help. Thanks. I'll go ahead and pass it back over to Tess and Sebi.
Awesome. Thanks, Madison. Before we get into our Meet This Speaker, just wanted to reintroduce myself, and then I'll pass it over to my other co-leaders of this chapter. So my name is Tess McKay. For those that weren't able to join our first session, I have been in the dynamic space for almost 8 years now, fallen in love with the entire industry itself. I'm personally a user right now of Copilot amongst Power BI and a few other technologies. So I'm really looking forward to the session myself to see if I can pick up some tips and tricks. But I'm really looking forward to not only Dynamics Con, but our next session as well, which will be hosted in person in the New York City Microsoft offices. Any requests for topics or questions throughout today's session, please put them into the chat. Usman's going to do his very best to answer them as we go. But overall, really looking forward to our second official Doug Greater New York City session. So passing it over to Sevi for another reintroduction as well.
Yeah. Hey everyone, very excited to have this session come on board as well. I was actually at the New England Doug user group last week, and it's been very great to see what everyone's been up to as far as the community and things like that. Myself, been in the Dynamics space for almost 8 years now. Also user of Copilot and customer engagement recently. So looking forward to hearing more. Passing it over to John, our other co-leader.
Okay. Hi, I'm John Peace from AccountNet in New York City, based in Midtown Manhattan. We're a CSP, and that's a cloud service provider for Microsoft, specializing in Business Central. We also do Dynamics SL and Dynamics GP. I just came back from the Microsoft Directions Conference, which was interesting because Microsoft did discuss Copilot and how they're going to bring OCR into accounts payable. So in one of the next waves, if you will, of Business Central, OCR capability will be within Business Central. Look forward to questions as they come up. Thank you.
Love it. And I don't think Randy was able to make today's session, but Randy...
He'll be joining.
Oh, he'll be joining.
Yeah.
So we'll pre-intro Randy again for those that weren't able to join our first session. Randy Tomanik is our fourth co-leader, so he'll be joining today as well. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce Usman Shaheen, who is a AI solutions architect with Core IT. In the event for this session, there is a little bit of a background of Usman, but to give him a little bit of cheers before he gets started, Usman's been doing AI for quite a while now and has done such a great job, not only as a speaker, but as a senior solutions architect, really bridging the gap between legacy systems and future-ready technologies, obviously including Copilot. So not only does he have extensive background in AI overall, but he is certified in Copilot and has some really great things to show us today. I did pass along to Usman all of the different topics or questions people have on Copilot. So he is going to touch upon those throughout today's session. But as we said, if there are things that come up throughout his presentation, please feel free to pop into the chat any questions as we go, and we will break throughout to answer any of those questions. So Usman and team, I will turn it over to you to share your screen and get started.
All right, thank you, Tess. Let me start by sharing my screen, and then we can go to the introduction.
Perfect.
All right, so let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep.
We can see it.
All right, great. So first of all, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's session. My name is Usman Shaheen, and I'm excited to be your presenter today. So a quick introduction for myself. So I have over 20 years of experience in enterprise solutions, and I had privilege to design and deliver integration in AI solutions across industries, from banking and healthcare to manufacturing and retail, and have set up the Center of Excellence on Azure Cloud. So today my focus would be to see that how the Copilot could add the business values through the solutions in Microsoft platform and in the Dynamics. Okay, so uh, on the overall, we will start. Should we start our test or
Yeah, get started.
with the actual? All right, great. So we will start with the foundational Copilot skills, where we see the things like summarizing the emails, recapping the meetings, or drafting documents. Some simple use cases that anyone can try right away. And then we will explore a practical business scenario and see how Copilot can streamline the entire sales reporting process across Outlook, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, in Teams. Next, we will take a closer look at how Copilot enhances dynamics for sales, and I will highlight some real prompts and demo them and the use cases and see exactly how it fits into daily workflows. All right. Okay. So if we are just starting with Copilot, we will begin with some simple prompts to build confidence and see immediate value there. Think about everyday tasks like summarizing a long email thread, drafting a first version of the document, or pulling key figures from a spreadsheet. They may seem basic, but they really showcase how Copilot can offload routine tasks, especially useful in high volume roles like sales and support, customer support. And feel free to ask any question or post. You can interrupt in the middle. All right. So let me walk you through a few practical examples that you can try right away. Um, One is the first one is the recapping a meeting. With Copilot, we can recap a meeting, track any key topics during the call or after the call. We can check for the action items, the people mentioned in the meeting. There is no need to go back and listen to the full recording of the meeting to find out what was the meeting about. And we can even create an email draft based on the meeting notes automatically through the Copilot. Then we can use Copilot for summarizing an email thread. If we have a long back and forth over email, Copilot can give you a quick summary right away within the Outlook. Next is the drafting an email in Word. We can just give a simple prompt, for example, like drop an email that inform about a project delay of about 2 weeks, and it will generate a pretty nice draft for you that you can add it before sending out. And we can ask Copilot to focus on the key points in a document and summarize the document and return the details in the bulleted format or even in a tabular format, and can send it over email. Okay, and for the policy documents or during the research, we can use Copilot to summarize long documents and extract the key information from it and create the reports in the form of email, presentation, or um, in the Excel. We can also do the use the Copilot for the data analysis. Okay, so let's walk through a sample business scenario here. Imagine you're managing a product line, say coffee machines, and your sales director asks for a Q2 performance review. So you would need the top performing countries, best selling models, regional trends, and upsell opportunities probably within your accounts. Without Copilot, that would be a manual process that you have to go through your CRM or Dynamics, and then you have to collect all the information to compile a report. But with Copilot, this end-to-end task can be completed much faster, from reviewing data to drafting a report and preparing slides. Okay, so here, as you can see on the screen, so you got a request in email, and rather than scanning the key points manually, you can just click summarize this email in Outlook, and Copilot will extract the key points and action items, and that saves times when you have a lot of emails coming in every day. Then we can get the insights from data by working on the financial data in Excel. Copilot can summarize the data there, generates the insights, creates the charts based on the data in Excel. For example, what are the top performing regions in Q2, or which products saw a decline. So that will actually allow us the non-technical users to work effectively with complex data sets. And then we can create a performance report in Word and ask Copilot to draft a report for us by referencing the Excel file. It extracts the key points, including the highlights, and create a draft report in Word that we can later format and send it out. And then within the Excel, we have Copilot for the formatting, sorting, applying formulas, or we can generate the charts. That's basically removes the technical barrier for not so technical business users. And for the presentation purpose, we can create the review deck based on a template. We can just start with a prompt like create slides on the top Q2 products and upsell opportunities. It generates the content and visual elements, and it's cuts on the formatting and let you focus on message clarity and presentation readiness. And then we can discuss that in the meeting, text all the information there, and the co-pilot will prepare the meeting summaries beforehand, during the call, and after the call. And it also creates the action items and the meeting summary that you can use later on in your subsequent communication. So we will go through this basic scenario and different co-pilot features. Any questions so far?
Keep
Okay,
rocking.
so with the co-pilot, yep. Thank you. All right. So with Copilot in Outlook, we have a very common feature is summarizing the email. It could summarize lengthy email threads where it could suggest replies or even draft a new message based on the data in CRM or Dynamics. It is ideal for a role that handle a large volume of communication, like where your customer support, and it maintains the quality of the replies while reducing the time required per message. So here are some examples that the Copilot could summarize, it could draft a reply, and it is also suggesting a few prompts out of the box, like you just want to write a short and friendly message, or you want some formal reply. So you could do that with Copilot. Let me give you that example in the Copilot. I'm sharing another window. Also here, we are in the Outlook. Okay, can you see the Outlook on the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right. So here is a long email thread that going and asking about request for quotation, and the Copilot we can actually to summarize to summarize this email. So you can actually open the Copilot. Here is a Copilot in the top toolbar, and then we can ask to summarize this email. Okay, and here on the top you can see some default prompts that you can try with. It will take a few seconds, and okay, so let me refresh the page here. Okay. It's loading up. Um, okay, I think I can continue with the slides and then come back to the presentation while it's loading. Okay, it's here. All right, so one thing that we can try here is that click on the reply, and the co-pilot will give the option to suggest a reply. So, for example, here in the email, the customer is asking for a quotation. So I can start with the appreciate interest, and it is writing reply. So saying that thanks for prompt and informative purpose, and just creating a sample draft that you can modify it, or you can tune it further. For example, make it shorter. It will rewrite it, and uh, you can replace it with a shorter version, or you can make it longer. You can change the tone of the message. Okay, so back to the presentation. Next, we have Microsoft 365 Copilot Business Chat, which is basically a standalone application. It's a centralized assistant where we can ask things like show me documents, share with this client. It's combining the document across all Microsoft products, across Teams, Outlook, OneDrive, and you have to avoid you. It's helping you avoiding tool switching and saving time searching for the information. So let me give a demo here. So here is the business chat. It also comes as a desktop application, and here we can try a prompt like summarize Q2 sales performance for product from, and we can specify the file from SharePoint or OneDrive. So here is a sample file with the financial details, and it will also show the top products and suggest upsell targets. So it's actually reading up the data from the file, and here it goes. It generates the overall sales performance numbers, total gross sale, total performing countries, top products.
Hey, Usman,
Okay,
just a quick
and with this
question.
result, yeah, sure.
It's actually about the email side of it, but do you know if Copilot will continue to learn your like preferred style of tone for emails, or is there just like do you have to continuously prompt it, or how do you know how that works?
So, well, you can set the system prompts here in Copilot where you tell that what type of tone you want to have, and over the time, it also learns your writing style and will adjust the content generation accordingly.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so here is the response based on our one prompt. It's reading the data from the Excel and generating the summary here, and it also providing some suggestion here for further analysis. For example, let's see the sales trend over the past quarters. Yes, so it's actually going to plot a chart here for the sales trends over the past quarter. So it's based on the actual data which we have in the Excel here. So that's our data source. We have all the sales, product sales data here. So based on this data, Copilot Business Chat is generating a chart here that we can use in our reports or can copy it over to emails. Or we can even generate it directly from the Outlook as well. Okay. The next one is the Copilot in Word. Well, the Word is one of the most commonly used apps. And here, with Copilot, we can support the content creation. We can create something from scratch by just a simple prompt, or we can refine the existing documents. It could also add tables, summaries, images, or even banners or clip art right into your Word document. And it allows teams to quickly create professional documents like reports, proposal, or internal briefings. Okay, we can do the formatting. For example, let me give you an example there. So I can say that so it's giving us all the data that it used to generate the chart in a table format.
Quick question on that. So I know you could select the type of chart that you want to see, but let's say, for instance, that I know this is going to sound like a weird question, but for certain presentations, we have to color code things. Can you ask it to put things in certain colors as well, or is it just the actual format of the table or the respective graph?
Yeah, we can give the detailed instruction of what type of charts we want to create. For example, let me do it really quick. We can say like create a pie chart for product sales by country. Okay, and we can also specify the color in the subsequent prompt or um, color formatting or a different type of chart as well.
This would have saved me a lot of time creating my PowerPoints. So this is going to be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So here it is creating a pie chart to show the distribution of gross sales across different countries. Right, so we can even ask to change the color if you want to, and it will do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, it's a Copilot in Word, and then we have Copilot in Excel, where it really gets excited that because we can do the analysis of the data that we have in Excel, and it helps the team to automate the data exploration. We can do the sorting, filtering, highlighting the important trends, and as we did, we can generate the tables or visualizations. So let me go to Excel here. So in Excel, we have the Copilot. In all products, it's appearing in the toolbar. We can go there and we can ask for some data insights that basically analyze the entire sheet and generates the insights based on the data there.
And guys, so these are some of the features that come out of the box, but we can get really creative with this, based on if you want to stay within the Office 365 stack or you want to integrate it with some other system that you use, some third-party tools as well. So you can get really creative and based on what you're trying to do and, what stuff you spend your time the most during a day. So obviously there is a lot of customization that could be done based on a use case.
Okay, so here is the insights generated, and then we can really create some complex artifacts here. For example, creating a pivot table. So I'm going to create a pivot table here showing gross sales by country in Q2. Let's see how it comes up. Okay, so it creates a pivot table here, giving a summary, and we can add it as a new sheet here. So all the content generated here would be saved as a separate, as a new sheet in Excel, and then you can have it there to saved here. I mean, the results are not lost. You actually have it there. There's actually an issue when we are using the Copilot chat for business. We have to copy the data and take it to Outlook, but here you can just add it to a new sheet. Okay, so yeah, so there are some of the pivot tables created, where some of the gross sales by country, gross sales by country in Q2 that we just added there. Okay, so coming back to the presentation. Okay, so as we did, we can visualize the data as charts. We can analyze and it generates the pivot tables or the data insights from the data available in the Excel sheets. We can also do the highlighting, sorting, and filtering just by prompting instead of applying the formulas. Then we have the Copilot in PowerPoint, where it helps generating slides from a document outline or even summarizing a report directly into slides. Copilot can suggest a structure, layout, and content, which is very useful when preparing client presentation or internal reviews. Let me give you an example here. I'm going to PowerPoint. We start with a blank presentation here. Okay, so here I have a loading. Here, or I can actually show you the slides because we have the dynamics part still left. So here we can give a prompt for creating a performance review deck based on the Excel sheet that we have, and it generates multiple slides. Here in this example, it's generated around 8 slides with the content from the Excel. And it can also summarize the insights, what we have in the presentation. If even if it was not created by Copilot, if it's an existing presentation, the Copilot can summarize the text and pull out the key information. Okay, and well, in the Teams, Copilot captures the discussions, um, identify the action items, and can send up the follow-up summaries. And that ensures that nothing is missed during a meeting. And even for the persons who are not present in the meeting, they can generate the action items for them or can ask the it can ask a question to the meeting transcript. You don't have to listen all the recording, watch all the recording, or go through the notes. Okay, so we can have notes, mentions, and transcript. We can use the chat inside the Teams app. Actually, I can show that right away in our current call. continue on that. So yeah. Okay, now we are on Dynamics. With Dynamics, we have a slightly different flavor of Copilot called Copilot for Dynamics Sales or Copilot for Dynamics Customer Service. For different types of Dynamics flavor, we have different types of Copilots. They are licensed separately. And with the Copilot for Sales, we can use Copilot to manage information in the CRM like leads, opportunities, or accounts, and it supports preparation for meetings and getting the data out of the Dynamics right into the Outlook for writing your emails. So here are some quick prompts or quick wins that are very common scenarios for the Copilot for Sales. Mm, So we can have the auto summary of lead, accounts, opportunity, context. So instead of digging through the CRM records manually, Copilot gives you instant summaries of leads, including recent interactions, engagement levels, and key details. And let's see that in action in Dynamics. So here are we in Dynamics, and I can say, okay, so I can give a prompt here. Let me open up an opportunity here. So we have leads, opportunities, contacts, and accounts here. So if we have an opportunity open here, we don't have to go through each tab to find out the details. We can just open it up and it's pulling the opportunity info and give us a summary of key points here. Okay, so here you can see that it's the opportunity summary with estimated revenue, close date, account it's under, and the key information. Okay, and it also suggests a few prompts that we can try here. For example, here, what's newly assigned to me? That's for a sales person, a sales rep. So this prompt will show the newly assigned tasks or accounts to this person. So there are no new records here for this example. And a few other prompts we can say. So yeah, we can prepare for the sales meeting based on the contact. It will give a meeting prep card that I will show, and that will summarize all the key points that a salesperson can use in the meeting. So here is an, let me show you here. Yeah, so let me try another prompt like my pipeline. All right, so it is showing the open opportunities assigned to me and based on the estimated closure date. It's sorted based on estimated closure date. So I can also ask for the follow-ups that are on my side. So I'm saying that show emails that need follow-ups. Okay, so there are no emails here. Okay, so another thing probably I
How would
would be,
Usman, a quick
yeah.
question. So for the like this specific example you're sharing on the emails, for instance, does the user have to like create these parameters, or is Copilot going off of like follow-ups, right? It's like I'm just trying to understand like how would I as the user set this up in a way?
Well, for setting this up, the Outlook will have a Copilot feature there, and when creating an email or received an email, you can sync that email with Dynamics, or even within Dynamics, we have a feature for sending out an email. For example, here, if I go to a contact, it gives an option to sending out an email directly from Dynamics. And that will be tracked here, and the user can use that in the Copilot.
Okay,
Here you
got
can
it.
see there are different emails here,
Right.
right? Okay, and yeah, so with the Copilot, the things are quite automated now, and here is a before and after comparison. That with the standard approach, or the manual approach, the user has to go to the different tabs, different screens in the Dynamics, and just put the all everything together in the Word document or in a presentation. But with the Copilot, you just need to give a prompt, and it will pull out all the key information and summary that you can use in your emails or meetings. Okay.
Will it automatically send those emails out, or do I have to approve it first before sending out?
It, by default, it is sending the emails automatically unless you have an approval workflow configured there. So for the
Okay,
sales rep guys, they can send out the emails out directly from Dynamics.
got it.
Okay. All right. And we can also pull the data from Dynamics to Outlook. So let me show that example here. So here we are in going in Outlook, and I'm going to create a new email. Okay. And in new email, I want to pull, for example, an opportunity details from Dynamics. So I go to the Copilot for sales. And here I can search for contact or account. For example, here is an opportunity, and I want to bring its data into my email. So just search for it and click on it. It will fetch the key information from Dynamics, and then we can uh, add it to our email. So one option would be you can just copy and paste, or we can just copy the link here and paste it here, and Outlook will generate a summary code for this opportunity. So here is a summary for this opportunity that you can send out via email. So you don't have to navigate through Dynamics, collect all the information, copy it, and drop the document, and then put it into the email. You can use the Copilot to just get it directly. Okay. Yeah, so we can, as we see that we can get the key information, we can summarize from Outlook. We can also create the records in Outlook from Copilot. Like we can create new accounts, new leads, or new cases from Copilot to Dynamics. All right. So in Teams, we can pull the information from Dynamics CRM into Teams. We can view the records, just we can do in Outlook, um, and we can create the meeting preparation cards. That's really useful when you're preparing for a sales meeting. So for any contact or for any account, it will give you a summary that you can use readily in your meeting, and it is summarizing the entire information for that account in Dynamics, including the opportunity information, open tasks, related trackers. So you can use that in your call. Okay, and right from the meeting, you can actually draft an email, and that will be saved in Outlook. You can create a task against different action items in Dynamics. So you don't need to do that manually. You can just uh, have a click on create task and it will create the task for the user in Dynamics.
So, Usman, so we spoke about Office 365 tools, and then we're talking about Dynamics for sales. What are some of the other flavors that are available within Copilot for users? So, like, I know there is a one flavor for accounting. What are some of the other Copilot licenses out there, and what are some of the common use cases out of the box, or customizing Copilot? What are some of the use cases that could be useful for people who are not from the sales background?
Well, yeah, one of the most common one is the Copilot for customer service, which is usually used for the system support or customer support, and that contains the information about the customers, the tickets, and all the case details. And the users can pull that information very quickly during their call or email interaction. So the Copilot for customer service is one flavor. Then we have Copilot for FNO, finance and operations, and Copilot for Business Central. So yeah, there are different versions of Copilot and that the users can use to fetch the information. And it's a two-way interaction. The users can create the entities in Dynamics right from the Copilot as well. Okay, so here is the typical implementation plan for the Copilot. Usually it is 30 to 60-day exercise. In the first 30 day, we start with initial discovery and assessment, technical readiness, and with a small team where we roll out the Copilot or Copilot for Dynamics. And then based on the feedback from the users, we do the triage of the feedback, find out that why their prompts are not working as expected or how they could achieve something specific from that prompt, um, setting the permissions right across all the documents that we have to avoid any privacy issues or data leakage issues. So that's the plan for the implementation. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions? Any comments?
Sorry, I was on mute there. Sorry, I keep muting myself. Thank you, Usman. That was definitely covering a lot of different content, some hacks, some prompts that I'm definitely going to be personally using. Does anyone have any other questions about use cases or quick hacks, maybe some issues they're running in with Copilot that you want to either pop into the chat or come off camera? Feel free to do so. And if you come up with any other questions after this as well, please feel free to also write it into the event chat. We can certainly have Usman answer those as well.
Can you quickly walk through like what general pricing is like, just for those who might be considering it and like trying to understand more?
Usman, did you get that?
No, sorry, I missed that. Can you please repeat that?
Oh, right. Pricing and like how it works for a user. Is it like transactions or like the times that you like have to use Copilot, or is it like a monthly recurring subscription? How does that typically work?
Yeah, that is also shared in the chat window. So basically, the Copilot for Microsoft 365 comes with an annual subscription of around 360. That's annual per user, and that requires a qualifying license like Microsoft E3. There's a lot of qualifying licenses that business supports. So we need a qualifying license, and on top of that, we need annual subscription for Microsoft 365 Copilot. And for Dynamics, we need separate licensing on top of that, and that
Gotcha.
is around 600 per user annually.
Got it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
for Business Central, it comes with the user account. So and right now, bank reconciliation is with Business Central. So the Copilot's functioning there. And I mentioned before, accounts payable will be rolled out in another wave. Randy just joined. I wonder if he has anything to say about F&O.
No, I don't. I could definitely research that if needed.
All right, just checking.
And on the notes of the waves, how often is Copilot going to be having new releases or new features? Obviously, it's ever evolving, and I know that's a big topic of conversation. But how often is Copilot expected to be advanced, even though it is already pretty scary what it could do?
Well, it is pretty much have release, you can say, every other week. We are getting the new features with every new release, and the model, the AI model in the at the back end are actually learning based on your writing style, the content that you are generating. So it's ever evolving.
Love it.
I guess.
So just sorry, please
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
I guess like for any business, I mean, having it go all at once for the different parts like accounting, sales. In your experience implementing these projects, what departments typically like to get onto Copilot and start using it first, or is there like an area that you see like trends that you're seeing adopt it faster, more quickly?
Yeah,
Usman has
there are
done a
two
couple of
departments which are
projects.
very, yeah.
Usman,
So
do you?
the most,
Yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
yeah. So the most common one is the customer service, because there are a lot of content there for the customers in the form of tickets or documents and that the user needs to fetch out. So the customer service is the most common department. Then we use it in HR, where we have the an organization HR department which is drafting the policies, sharing them with the employees or answering the employees' questions. So all that information is usually on the SharePoint, and the Copilot can help interacting with those documents or creating those documents. So to answer your question, is customer service and HR. They are the most common departments. And then in the today's demo, we saw the dynamics for sales. So there's another department where we can have the Copilot to support the sales teams.
Got it.
Usman, the Copilot you implemented at that insurance company, do you want to talk about that as well? The triage?
Yeah, that's actually not a co-pilot. That's an AI-based solution, and that's basically doing an email triage based for an insurance company where hundreds of insurance claims are coming in over a mailbox, and the AI solution basically route it to the appropriate underwriter or the department by analyzing the email and the attachments. So that was the one solution I'm still working on. And there are many others. Like another one, we have Copilot for SAP, where we are pulling data from SAP ERP, like delivery information, tracking information for the products, sales order information, and displaying them in the Microsoft Teams chatbot. So the users who are not don't have access to SAP, any user in the organization can quickly pull out the information from SAP related to an order. And the use case here is also the customer service department. So they can just pull the real quick that what is the tracking status of for a typical order, a particular order. So they can just put the order number there in Microsoft Teams, and the bot will pull the information from SAP and show all the details that customer service can share with the customer.
Gotcha. Cool. And just to be clear, an AI agent is different from Copilot, right? That's like those are two separate functionalities.
Yeah, Copilot is a product or an offering from Microsoft, and AI agents are you can say the workflows which are using the AI capabilities, in understanding the content and defining the workflows. So they are different products.
I have a question regarding the demonstration, Word, the Dynamics 365 Teams. When organizations or companies are setting up Copilot, would you suggest security to be assisted with from an outside company?
Yeah, well, for outside company, you mean the data that we are sharing with the Microsoft for the copilots?
Well, sharing with others within a company, like say, for example, you're doing an Outlook and you're sharing documents and you're sharing different things. Would you want to set it up with like an MSP, a microservice provider, to make sure you have proper security within the company?
Yeah, that's right. And even when we are setting up the Copilot, one of the our technical readiness include all the security measures are taken. The users has the proper permissions on the documents that they have in on OneDrive or on SharePoint or any other data store, so the data don't shared to the users that they are not intended for. So that all the measures are there, and that would be in the process of the Copilot rollout within an organization.
That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm conscious of time here. I know we're just at about an hour. Usman, thank you so much for running through this. This was awesome. Like I said, definitely taking some personal hacks myself. This session is going to be recorded, so people want to refer back to this. Please feel free. It's going to be put into the event section. And again, if any other questions do come up while you're using Copilot or leading up to Copilot, please feel free to pop it into our event chat. And then we're also going to be sending out some correspondence about our next session, which will be in person at the Microsoft offices. So we'll have a few different topics covered there. And definitely looking forward to Rehash Dynamics Con next week, where we'll also be doing hopefully a group meetup for some coffee or some lunch. So stay tuned for some more information on that. Sevi, John, Randy, anything to add? Usman, anything to add?
Nope. We're good. Thanks again, everyone, for attending.
Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
See
you,
you guys at
everybody.
Dynamics Con.
See everyone
See you
soon.
there.
Bye.
Bye-bye.